Hi, my name is Lieutenant Gary Aswalt, and welcome to a tour of this game's Block, Wasteland, Downturn, and Euphrates Bridge, Taraq. Taraq is yet another cutout from Al Mazrah, and actually also has a ground war version that's about 6 feet larger. While most of the Al Mazrah maps try to differentiate themselves from Warzone by taking place at sunrise, Taraq instead is placed on the foggiest, dreariest day of the millennium, which is as refreshing as a big deep breath of the smoggy, polluted Taraq air itself. One thing that many don't realize is that Taraq is actually a remake of the original Call of Duty map, Newville. They just didn't tell anyone because it's from a game so old that anyone who would remember it isn't young enough to still have a memory anyways. Is there a name for these kinds of remakes where they just don't mention it? Quiet remakes? Deja vu maps? Being lazy? I don't know, one of those has to stick. All to say that Taraq is left over from a time where map design was pretty much just dropping a bunch of stuff in an empty field with no real rhyme or reason to it, and it either worked or it didn't. And as such, it's probably the most wide open in the game, being just a big square with lots of open sightlines from side to side, and plenty of snipers' nests scattered around. Although, if you're a running and gunning modern player, there is still a decent amount of cover to snake between on the ground, as long as you stay clear of the 2 alleys of death on either side, where a sniper can set themselves up to look down the entire thing like they're an omnipotent god smiting anything with a pulse above 100. But if someone beats you to that perfectly crafted sniping spot, don't worry, there's enough for literally every player in the lobby. In 10v10, close quarter combat is mostly focused in the direct center, where several pathways converge and flow into each other, creating this toilet bowl effect, complete with shit stains stuck to the rim of the bowl, camping in the corner or up the stairs. Outside of the map's chaotic, jelly-filled center, the rest of the donut mostly gets looked over as sugary fat to be burned off. Desolate, unwanted areas where no one ever goes willingly, like the cemetery, bakery, and oil pump, all so unused and forgotten that one of them isn't actually a part of the map. But I bet you didn't even notice. The best way to play this map is to follow the patented sucker system. Step 1. Spawn in an open area toward the back of the map, and immediately try to get your bearings. Thankfully, the center has a great big smoking tower, so you'll always know where it is. Then, Usain Bolt your way toward the middle, dodging sniper fire and airstrikes until you get there, where you kill whoever was unlucky enough to show up 0.2 seconds before you did. Now you can stop and take a quick breath before you're promptly killed by someone who was lucky enough to show up 0.2 seconds after you did. And lastly, respawn in the middle of nowhere and you get to do it all over again. So, I don't really have much of a wrap-up here, but I figured if an old map like Taraq is moving in on the new generation's territory, then maybe this newer generation should be the ones to fight back. So, I asked the guy who writes all of Gen Z's homework, ChatGPT, to do that for me.
Overall, Taraq is a destination that's not for the faint of heart. But if you're up for a challenge, and looking for an adrenaline-pumping escape, grab your guns and get ready for an unforgettable vacation unlike any other.
So I had to ask it to present it like it was a vacation destination in order to get, like, the voice right. Just ignore that last part. The hotel is kind of, at capacity. And that's where I'll end today's tour. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, check out the last one we did on Valderas Museum. And everyone else can exit through the gift shop, where we're selling grave plots in the wonderful Al Mazrah Cemetery. Better act fast, all this sand is eroding pretty quickly.